It's not always the most powerful women who write history. It's the ones who survive.
You have no idea what I'm capable of.
Girl boss off. Gee, what a surprise. Howdy, y'all. I am Adam, the Renaissance Nerd, and this is Wheel of Time, Season 2, Episode 3 review. I've been at this all day. If you're watching these separate, I'm glad for you, but I've been working on these all day, and my brain is melting. This show is so bad. It is so out there. It is complete and utter fiction, and not Robert Jordan's fiction. Bad fan fiction. They are making all this shit up. They are making shit up for people to do. This is Robert Jordan we're talking about. Phone book fiction. Hundreds of pages per book. And they are making shit up for people to do. You ask the question, why aren't they just telling the story? There'll be plenty to do if they were just telling Robert Jordan's Wheel of Time saga. But they're not. They abandoned that in Season 1. They haven't even tried here in Season 2. And they claimed, well, we're going to have problems adapting all the books, so we have to cut certain things to make time. Yet they can inject, in Season 1, they can have an entire episode that didn't matter in the canon. And here, they're just making it all up and giving people shit to do in moments that are sort of connected to actual events. And I say sorta because in this episode, we finally get Nynaeve going through the arches, yet they still manage to F it up because in one way, they didn't touch on proper canon and source material in Season 1. So they had to make up some bullshit here, and then they bastardized the rest of it. Oh, well, we got several storylines to go through here. We've got Perrin crew captured by the Ascension. We've got Matt freed from his captors, yet maybe not. Then we've got Rand doing the dumbest shit ever. And then we've got Elaine, and we've got Iguane, and we got Nynaeve. Because, yes, all right, I don't want to waste any more time because this is hurting. I'm in pain now. I'm suffering for you. I'm doing this for you guys. Oh, bring it on. Let's do it. Yeah, let's go.
All will.
Once again, Perrin gets F all to do. Doesn't do anything. Just exists to get moved along by the story. He has been captured. Again, we are in fanfic territory. He and the rest of Shienarans and Loyal have been captured by the Ascension. Now, apparently, the chick on the dais, on the throne, is Lady Suroth. Okay, she is a dark friend. I said back in review 1 earlier today, what's a dark friend, what's Ascension doing at the round table conference of dark friends at the beginning of Great Hunt, because there was no Ascension there. And she isn't in charge yet. Right now, Lord Turok is in charge, not Lady Suroth. She doesn't come in charge until after Rand kills Turok at the end of the Great Hunt, and then she doesn't serve Ishii, she serves Semirhage. So that's why I'm confused there. Now, I'm still confused here. Why is Ishii standing there? Because maybe they're not even going to do Semirhage in this story. Maybe they're not even going to do it. So Ishii is taking over that part. She serves Ishii and the Dark One. So, of course, High Lady Suroth is a dark friend. But she wasn't there at the beginning of the Great Hunt, and she wasn't in the Great Hunt, which is why I was confused back in first review. So High Lady Suroth is now going to make everybody kneel. Nobody wants to kneel. Well, not yet. First, we're sending a little damning girl to pick out girls, and I'm assuming she can sense who can touch the power. Picking out girls, we were freaking out, getting down. Then her mouthpiece tells everybody, "Glorious is the ascension. We're here to reclaim our lands. Bow to us. Do what we say, or we're gonna make you bow. We're gonna make you kneel. Rejoice." Uno wants to fight back. He's still got a dagger on him. Ingtar says no, but then some powerful black women points at him and says, "You will be made to kneel." They bring out Uno tries to fight it off. Doesn't happen. They make him kneel, and he basically eats corn the long way with the spike. And that's it. He's dead. After that, High Lady Soroth, as you saw in the transition clip, everybody will kneel. And everybody's got to kneel. Ingtar says to Perrin, you got to kneel. Your pride isn't going to save everybody later. And that's it. That's all that happens there. That's it. Aside the fact that this doesn't actually happen in the book, what else am I going to say? It's stupid. Moving on, later in the episode, Perrin's being we find out Perrin is being transported to Falme. Wow, they're actually heading towards the legitimate end of the Great Hunt, where it all takes place. Congratulations, we're on the path, although it's going to be horrible by the time we get there. Perrin wakes up in his little carriage to find Ishi sitting there, after a very strange conversation where Ishi's talking about how he needs Perrin to give in to the beast. The more you become the wolf, the more mine you are. Then we hear the wolves attack. Elias and the wolves attack. Ishi just kind of strolls away saying, "I'll see you later." While the Sentient and the Damane are busy trying to fight off the wolves, Elias breaks into the carriage, frees Perrin, tells Perrin to run. Perrin doesn't want to run, says, "You can't save your friends like this, you need to run." And take note during this, Elias has blood all over his mouth, which means he's been gnawing at dudes like a wolf. No, Elias uses daggers, dude. He uses daggers. Long knives. That's it for Perrin. Like I said, Perrin did F all this episode. Third episode in a row. Second season, Perrin never does anything. His story is gone. He's not even in Rand and Matt's story anymore. Now he's not even hunting for the horn. He's just running for his life into Bumblefuck. Moving on, let's continue this pain train.
I know you, Matt Cawthon, though you may not know yourself. You left them, and you'd do it again.
Matt. This isn't Matt. Plain and simple, this is not Matt. This is not Matt's story. None of this is even remotely entertaining, because what we have here is the white man being beat up by the girl bosses. That's right. Now, this is, of course, in the middle of everything else, so I'll fill you in real quick. This is fallout from Nynaeve's arch failure, where she doesn't emerge. But she does emerge, but whatever. Liandrin is feeling bad, so she goes to Matt to let him out, because now she doesn't need him as a pawn anymore with Nynaeve or anything like that, I guess. And in the process of it, she demeans the hell out of him. You saw it in the clip. She talks down to him. "You're nothing. You're dirt. You're this. You're that. You abandon your friends. You'll abandon them again. Now go off and go anywhere. I don't care what you do." Let's remember, refresher from season 1. This is not happy-go-lucky, smile on his face, will grab your ass and roll some dice with you, Matt. This is, I'm a scumbag, Matt. I'm a dirtbag, Matt. I steal, Matt. I don't work hard, Matt. I'm not mischievous. I'm not lovable. I'm just a dick. That's this Matt, who abandoned his friends. She tells him, Iguane is suffering over the loss of Nynaeve. Because, yes, there's a manufactured story with Iguane that we're going to get to in a moment. She's suffering. You can go talk to her if she'll see you. But you can go. I don't care. So she leaves. Matt goes out. And for a moment, we'll get Iguane crying. And we'll talk about that in a moment, next segment. But, well, not next segment, 2 segments from now. You know what I mean. We'll get there. Matt doesn't go talk to her because he's a coward. This Matt is a coward. He's not brave. He doesn't really love his friends. He loves himself. He's in a dark place and he needs to come out of it. No, he's not in a dark place. He's in a manufactured dark place created by Rafe Judkins and his milquetoast moron writing crew. Matt then returns to his cell, gets 40-year-old Asian Min to come out, and she realizes, hey, we're free. Let's get out of here. And she runs off, so he follows. Got to follow the woman. When he catches up to her, she's got horses saddled, ready to go, ready to this, that, and they're going to go together. Have horse will travel. But she's got to get one more thing. Matt, wait here. I'm going to get one more thing. She goes into some place to get something. No, in fact, she's there to meet Leandrin. Apparently, 40-year-old Asian Min is working for Leandrin, who is now has a plan for Matt. What it is? Don't know, because this isn't in the book. I have no idea where this is going, and this isn't fun for me. Part of the fun is knowing what's going to happen to characters I enjoy. Knowing what's going to happen to Matt on his crazy-ass adventure. Knowing what's going to happen to Min. Not only is Matt destroyed in this, but Min is now destroyed. Min is supposed to still be there when Swan gets deposed as Amerlin by Aleida. But there's no Aleida, there's only Leandrin. And we haven't seen Swan in who knows God when, because she should be there. She's not even in this episode when she should be when Nynaeve comes out of the arches. You understand how fucked this all is. It's all broken. Min's story, broken. Matt's story, broken. Leandrin, what the hell is even going on with her? This isn't even her story. They've created a story around her, my prediction, to make her sympathetic when the big reveal happens that she's Black Aja. Sick of this show. I hate it. And they do Rand dirty even worse in the next part.
This is the most political city in the world. Everything anyone says or does is part of some scheme or some game.
You've laid it on there. Did you wonder why she wanted to talk to you?
What about you? What is your reason for helping me?
We now pick up with Rand, who's about to go on a fetch quest for Logain. That's right. These writers are so moronic, they literally have Logain send Rand on a fetch quest in order to get his help. For those of you unfamiliar with the term, a fetch quest is what happens in an RPG when an NPC requires you to get them an item before they give you your desired reward. That is a fetch quest, and that is what Logain does. Rand asks Logain for help, and Logain says, I will tell you what you want to know, how to control the One Power, if you bring me a bottle of Gelden wine. Okay, how am I going to do that? It's on the other side of the world, 1,000 miles away. Oh, you're a bright boy. You found your way in here. You can go find me my wine. Go on now, go away, and then I'll tell you what you want to hear. Rand, he accepts the fetch quest, clicks OK, clicks the check mark, whatever game you're playing, he accepts the fetch quest. He then returns to the square where there's a, I guess, I don't know. No, is it a Gleeman? I don't know. He's got the colored jacket. I guess it's a Gleeman. Telling about the Great Horn. He's watching people get branded with something. I guess that's the mark of the dragon. I don't know. Then he asks Celine what's going on. Oh, they're getting ready for the Great Horn because the Queen is offering a reward. Now, those of you who might be keeping track of what's right and what's wrong, we're in Kirhane, whatever, how you want to pronounce it. There's a king who rules it in the story, not a queen. There's only one queen in the world, or on this continent, and that's Morghese, Queen of Andor, who sits upon the Lion Throne. There are no other queens. There are important heads of state who might be female, but there are no queens. She's it. But nope, we have a queen. There's a nice little lore, an unnecessary lore break, just to remind you that women's rule the world in Amazon's Wheel of Time. So, Rand asks her about this, says, oh, every couple hundred years, people send it out there. They go looking for it. It's a great, big, grand thing. I mean, this should have been something we were told about a long time ago. Frankly, I believe it's told to us about in Eye of the World. I believe if Tom Marilyn was here, he would have told us all this information. But Tom doesn't exist anymore. He was there for all of 5 seconds before he effed off. Rand tells her he needs help. He needs to find the bottle of wine. Selene agrees to help him. But we're going to need to get some fancy clothes. Because where are they going? They're going to a dinner party. Yes, they go to a noble's dinner party to find the bottle of wine. Fetch Quest Part 2. They get there. Rand has some pointless conversations with Selene and some old lady about playing the game, the great game. I forget how to pronounce it. You know, the great game, the great political game. And they're going to... You're not going to. You don't trust anybody. You don't. Everybody always wants something from you, Rand. Always wants something. Selene eventually comes back with the bottle of wine. Now this is Lanfear, so she might have just freaking teleported because she can travel because she knows how to do that. She probably just traveled over to the other side of the world, grabbed them, or maybe got it from her own private collection in her pocket dimension where she likes to hang out. Picked one up, gives it to him. And he now questions, why are you helping me? What are you doing? Why are you giving me this? What do you want from me? If everybody wants something from somebody else because the hunt for the great horn is fake. The great hunt for the horn is fake. I said that wrong. Sorry. I'm losing my mind. I'm 3 episodes in on this. Do you understand what's left in here is dribbling out the side of my ears? I'm mentally damaged at this point. She says, I don't want anything from you. You know what I want. And basically saying, I want your dick. That's what she's saying. I just want what's in your pants. Because you are the Dragon Reborn. I'm Lanfear. I'm in love with Lewis Theron. And you are Lewis Theron Reborn. So I need you in me. Oh, anywho. Then Rand says, I'm done. I'm walking away. And she's all upset. What? Don't you want to stay for the fireworks? No, she doesn't care. This is all a game to her. She's manipulating everything in this because it's Lanfear. Rand runs right back to his quest giver because that's what he's supposed to do. Running right back to your quest giver to give them the items so they'll give you what you want. Problem is, Logain can't give him any answers. Gee, what a surprise. Like I didn't say this last review. Logain has nothing but crazy to speak. And that pushes Rand over the edge, and he grabs him and says, you're crazy, you're not that dragon, and you no. And then he leaves. And Logain's saying, you'll be back, I'm the only one that can teach you. How? I don't know, because you don't know anything. You never knew anything. Gah! Rand then returns to his little hovel that he's renting from Selene Lanfear, finds her there, she assaults him, and then they start to F. They start to F, and then the power goes out of control around him as they're Fing. But then he wakes up and realizes it was a dream. Now, moment stop here. Lanfear is very adept at going into the world of dreams to tell Aaron Royd. She's a dream walker. She knows how to do it. She was probably in his dreams and caused him to use the one power. At least that's what the retarded stands are going to say when they watch this. Oh, look at that. Look at that. Lanfear's dream walking. No, it's still retarded and stupid. He sets the whole place on fire. He runs out there. There she is in different garb, showing you that she was effing him in the dream and not in the real life. Either way, that's it. Rand's done. What did we learn? Nothing. Rand is a good little player in an RPG who will go on a fetch quest if you give it to him. None of this happened in the book. It's ridiculous. It's pointless. You just wasted our time. Is he on his way to Falm? Is he hunting for the horn? He didn't even know what the horn was in this. Had no idea because remember, he wasn't there in season 1 when they found the horn. Unlike the real books where he knows exactly what it is because the dagger is in the chest with the horn and he wants the dagger to save Matt, but that's a story we're not telling here, is it? What is his story? Nothing. Nothing. Waste of time. This whole show is a waste of time. And now we're going to waste our time with Iguane, Elaine, and Nynaeve. I've lumped them all into one section because they all go together.
Whatever awaits you, you must face it with nothing but your wits. Not even the one power will be available to you inside the arches.
Nynaeve, Iguane, Elaine. They're all getting their own segment here together because it all kind of flows together with the way it works. We left off last episode with Nynaeve about to take her accepted test by walking through the arches. Very famous scene in The Great Hunt. They fucked it up. They completely bastardized and fucked it up. It starts off the way it should. They get her undressed, though. She still has a shift on. She should be completely naked, if I remember correctly. She should be completely naked before she goes through the first arch. And the process is right. She go through the arch. She comes out. They dump water on her. It's what happens inside each arch. And what happens in between, where everything gets thrown to hell. Nynaeve goes through the first arch. In the book, it's a thing. The first arch represents her past and a moment in the past. In the book, she relives her battle with Agenor. But we didn't fight Agenor in the last season, so can't do that. So they make up some mumbo jumbo, some malarkey where she's a kid again, and her parents are slaughtered by evil white people. That's what happens. That's what happens. And she leaves. That's it. That's her traumatic past that she has to realize she can't fix or whatever and break free and come back out. Now, I must also remark that before she goes in, Sheriam Sedai says, you'd be wise not to channel while you're in the arches. In the book, she says, do not channel while you are in the arches. Big difference. Big difference. Because it's dangerous. She comes back out. She gets cleansed. They actually say the correct lines, and they push her on through to the next one. She goes to the next one. Again, a bastardized version of what happens in the books. In the book, she returns to the present, where she's back in Two Rivers, but she's not the wisdom anymore. Some evil Karen Whammon's wisdom is in the book, and is bullying everybody and controlling the village. And people need her help, but she has to abandon them. That's the book. She realizes she wants to help. It's supposed to fight her urge, her need to be a healer. Here, she's not wisdom anymore because she left. And now she comes back as an Aes Sedai, and there's a disease going on, and she can't really help. And she gets told off by some Karen in the village, who is not really the wisdom, but the only one there. And she gets yelled at, and then she's going to leave while people are asking for help. Again, bastardized version of what happened in the book. Then there's the third one. Now we're going to take a break from the third one because we have to come back to that, because she goes into it and seemingly has a weird reaction and comes back out and this is where I thought they were really screwing the pooch, but no. It was when she leaves Tar Valon, because what she does is she gets out, she yells at everybody about, what did you do to me? How dare you do this? Which is similar to the book where she yells at everybody, but in this version now, she leaves. She F's off. She says goodbye to Iguane. You're going to be strong. You don't need me. You're a great, strong Karen Whammons. You'll be okay. Just get that mole chopped off the tip of your nose. You'll thank me later. She leaves, and as she's leaving, that's when I realized she's still in the arch. Because here comes Lan, and they embrace, and as she turns around, there's still the arch, and she forgets about the real world. Now, in the book, she does have a future vision of Lan, because that's what the third arch is, the future, her idealized future, except not in this one. But we'll come back to it. Meanwhile, the Aes Sedai in charge, Liandrin, Sheriam, and I think that's what's-her-name, who is Swan's first lieutenant. I suddenly can't remember her name either. I think that's who Asian Sedai is right there, if I remember correctly. Anyhow, they say Nynaeve's dead. She's not coming back out, Nynaeve's dead. In the book, doesn't happen. Time is immaterial inside the arch. When she comes out, in reality, everybody should be waiting there, including a bunch of sisters and the Amyrlin, to officially accept her as an accepted. But no, still just the three sisters are there. And they say, she's dead, we're going to leave her, bye-bye. We cut to Iguane and Elaine. They come to Nynaeve's room, coming to pick her up for novice duties, but they discover Sheriam Sedai in there, cleaning her shit out. She says, sorry, Nynaeve's dead. Iguane has a meltdown. No, it's not possible. She's the strongest one. Throws a hissy fit, ends up crying in a corner against the door. Nothing that can be done. Moving on, because now Liandrin is at the top of Tar Valon, melting Nynaeve's ring like she cared for some reason. Nynaeve was just a ploy in her plots or whatever, maybe even a want to make her Black Aja or whatever. And here comes Iguane. And this is the clip I showed you in the beginning of the review. They have a girl boss off. Leandrin spouts about a bunch of rubbish about powerful women making history. Makes your eyes want to bleed and your ears want to explode because you don't want to hear it anymore. Then Iguane, as you saw, stands up to her. At one point when she tried to leave before that, tried to block her with flame. It's a girl boss off. Leandrin just kind of lets it go and walks away. Which leads then to Iguane going off to cry in the garden, where eventually we see Matt try and not talk to her. Which eventually leads her to go and try and break Nynaeve out of the arches. Now let's just stop right here. This whole Iguane doing stuff, this is what I talked about earlier in the review. This is busy work for her. This is manufacturing, creating Iguane, giving her something to do, creating anything for Iguane to do, except what she should be doing in the story based upon Robert Jordan's works. No, let's have her have a meltdown and try to rescue Nynaeve trapped in the arch. A fake quest. That's what it is. Just another fake quest. Well, Elaine shows up, tells her people have tried for hundreds of years to break somebody out when they get lost in the arch and it never works. But I'll stay here with you until maybe she comes out. We're going to have a nice little girl huddle. While we are now in arch number 3. Now in arch number 3, the picture of the idyllic future that will try and trap you. In the book, Nynaeve is Queen of Malkier. She is Lon's wife. They have a beautiful family. The war is over. Everything's beautiful. And it's a lovely life. And she forgets for a minute that is an alternate reality. Because that's what the arches are. They're pathways to alternate realities. In this one, she forgot too. We saw that. Eventually, in the real one, she remembers because everything comes back to her, and she creates thorns to hurt herself in her hands so that she can remember and summon the one power when she shouldn't and force open the arch and come back out. After which, again, she is greeted by the Amaryllis Seat and all the current sisters who are the heads of the Ajas, and they welcome her in as an accepted. No, in this one, her idyllic life is in the Two Rivers with Uncle Perrin and Uncle Matt and a nice little baby girl. Nice little girl. Cute little girl who likes her mommy, wants to eat sweet cakes with daddy. That's fine. They go inside where we have a conversation with Lan about how Trollocs have been sighted near Saldier. But that's a little too close for comfort. But then what happens right away? A Trolloc breaks down the door. Here comes the Trolloc attack. And then, while the men go outside to fight while she hides little girl downstairs. And then Nynaeve goes out to the fight. And we don't see anybody else fight. We just see her get to be a badass and kill a Trolloc or two. While Matt is dead, Perrin gets killed, and Lan gets killed. And then what happens? Then she channels inside the Terangrial and wipes everything out. She kills the Trollocs in another Super Saiyan rage moment. And she's crying and weeping as she then remembers that it's all fake, because then there's the arch. She goes and gets the little girl. Little girl says, "Mommy, I'm scared. I don't want to go." She says, "No, I'll take you with me." Tries to take little girl through, but little girl disappears, and then she's just back out covered in blood that isn't her own. There's Iguane in the lane to comfort her in her moment of crisis, and the episode is over. You can see how they completely messed it up. Now, I'm sure there are going to be stands there to defend, well, it still was her idyllic future. It turned into a nightmare. It didn't have to be a nightmare in the first one, because that's part of giving it up, walking away from the thing you want most. She had to walk away from it. She had to willingly leave it. And then the cool part is that she forces it over herself. Yeah, she still does that, but she doesn't do it in the right way. She does it in a moment of grief, anger, not realizing I have to stab my hands with thorns, which leaves permanent scars on her palms when she's done. And then you cut out all the Amerlin out there and all that You Are Now Accepted stuff. That's the end of the episode. Yeah. I hate this show. I hate it so much.
All right. I'm here.
There there we are, 3 episodes in. I somehow survived doing these all in one day. If you're watching this third one, it's the next day. I posted it a day later, but still, got it all done. What have we learned? 3 episodes in. This is all fake. It is not Robert Jordan's Wheel of Time. They have broken just about every single character's storyline. They have created fake storylines. They have created fake events. They have created fake relationships, all in the name, in the name of what I don't know. Of course, there's agenda in this, whammons, Karens, all that good stuff, race, identity, politics. But I don't even know why this has been done. Hatred? Jealousy? Is Rafe Judkins that jealous of Robert Jordan's creation that he has purposefully destroyed it? We've had this discussion in other streams, in other videos. I've had others on who we've talked about this. Rafe Judkins, has he done this maliciously? Because it feels like this is malicious. Purposefully destroying these characters. Rand doesn't have his real story in this. Matt doesn't have his real story in this. Perrin doesn't have his real story in this. It's all fake. Fabricated. And they've been deconstructed to versions of themselves that are pathetic. Rand is a fetch quest carrying simp. That's all. He's a simp. He was a simp in season 1 and a cuck in season 1. He's a simp and a cuck in this one that just runs around doing what people ask him to do. Matt is a sleazebag scumbag in this one. He's not happy-go-lucky, fun, smile on your face, pinch you on the butt Matt. Where's Matt? Perrin, this guy walks around with his mouth hanging open, talks like that, and does nothing. His own story isn't even present 2 seasons in, 3 episodes into the second season. His own story has never even been started. And the girls, the trio heroine, they aren't connected at all in this. Nynaeve is now a crying, simpering wreck of a human being. She's not strong, powerful, lovable bitch on wheels. This creature is nothing. Iguane is a girl boss in training who we hate. And Elaine, we haven't seen enough of Elaine, but she seems to just be there to talk and not really do anything. And the villains, they're all out of whack. Other characters all out of whack. Moiraine, she wasn't in this episode, but she's a horrible girl boss too. And Lan, he's nothing but a limp-wristed crybaby. I hate this show, but I'll keep reviewing it. I'll see you next week on season 4. Hit that like button, leave a comment, and if you're new here, subscribe to the channel. Until then, take it easy. See you later. Thanks for watching, everybody. If you'd like to reach out to me, please email me at theranernerd@gmail.com for all channel business purposes. I am on Twitter now, mostly for promotion and sharing of videos, maybe a little shit stirring here and there, who knows, @theranernerd. You can also find me at the Geeks and Gamers forums under @ROAS, and you can see me on Rumble and Odyssey under the Renaissance Nerd. Thanks again for watching. Take it easy.